Hello everyone. So as we were discussing the SN1 mechanism in the last lecture, okay, we had gone through these points when we had discussed SN1 mechanism. So today I will be discussing the important points of SN2 mechanism. So SN2 mechanism, points that you have to keep in mind: it's a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Bimolecular means it is basically a second order reaction in which the reaction rate depends on both the reactant as well as the reagent. Then it's a one step process, or you can say it's a concerted process in which bond breaking and formation occur simultaneously. Okay, then next point that you have to keep in mind is a strong nucleophile always favors SN2. Okay, these nucleophiles, they do not have the patience to wait for the bond to break, so they attack the reactant immediately and they give the SN2 mechanism. It has a transition state with 5 bonds. Okay, these 5 bonds are not completely formed. You will have a transition state in which 3 bonds will be completely formed, and you will have 2 partially formed bonds, one in which the carbon halogen bond will break, and from the other side the carbon and the new nucleophilic bond will be formed here. Okay, then polar aprotic solvents. Favor SN2 mechanism. Now what is the meaning of polar aprotic solvents favoring SN2 mechanism? These aprotic solvents means they are not going to release hydrogen, so they do not interact with the nucleophile. Okay, they do not form any kind of weak interaction around the nucleophile and do not decrease its nucleophilicity, hence the nucleophile remains a strong nucleophile. So here examples will be DMSO, that is dimethyl sulfoxide. It is having a structure like this. Then we have DMF, that is dimethyl formamide. Dimethyl formamide has a structure, I am writing as Me2. Me means here methyl group. Okay, then we have DMA, that is dimethyl acetamide. Okay, then the other compounds are acetone, that is CH3CO, CH3, THF, crown ethers, acetone nitrile, that is CH3CN. So these are polar aprotic solvents. They do not release hydrogen and hence they favor SN2 mechanism. And then the most important thing that you have to keep in mind is the stereochemistry. So in stereochemistry, what you have to keep in mind, that there is a backside attack always, and there is 100% inversion of configuration. Okay, that means if you are starting with an S isomer, then the final product will be an R isomer. If you are starting with an R isomer, the final product will be an S isomer. Okay, hopefully if you understand RNS, it's good. If you don't, please comment it, I'll explain it in my lectures. So R and S isomers. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind. So there is a complete inversion here. The reason is that it is only because of the backside attack. Okay, why this backside attack is taking place here? So I am taking the example here. The reason for backside attack, again I am repeating, is a strong nucleophile does not have patience for waiting that this CX bond will break and then it will attack. So it attacks immediately from the back side, opposite side, and it gives you a compound in which there is 100% inversion of configuration. Okay, so this is your 100% inversion, also known as Walden inversion. Okay, so these are the points you have to keep in mind. Again, the reactivity order here is CH3, primary, secondary, tertiary alkyl groups. Now, why the order is like this? The intermediate formed here is a transition state with 5 bonds. Okay, you can see here it will be some like this. I have written it earlier also. So, if there is a steric hindrance at these positions, then the simultaneous bond formation and bond breaking will not take place, as the nucleophile will not be able to attack from the backside. So, we need compounds here which are less sterically hindered. That is why the simpler or the smaller alkyl groups, they favor SN2 mechanism. Okay, so these are the points that you have to remember for SN2 mechanism. So, how many points are there? First point is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Second point, it is a second order reaction. Third point, it is a one step process. Fourth point, strong nucleophiles favor SN2. Fifth point, transition state is with 5 bonds, in which 3 bonds are complete bonds and 2 are partial bonds. Sixth point, it treats polar aprotic solvents. The examples I have already explained. And the seventh point, the stereochemistry, there is 100% inversion of configuration. Okay, so these are the points you have to keep in mind. You can also note these points side by side, comparing SN1 and SN2. That will help you in learning the SN1 and SN2 reactions faster. So, practice the questions related to it. I will be taking the questions in later on slides. So, please do like, subscribe and share the videos, and please also comment if you want any other topics to be taken. So, thank you so much.